Dave Landau, and you're watching Andy Smith, the coolest comic book creator around. Just ask his mom. I have. All hail Comicsgate. Bam! Bam! Bam!
Ha! Dave, you cracked me up, you silly guy, you. Bow! 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 And what are you doing talking to my mom? Anyhow, welcome to the Dennis and Andy Show. We are here 1 hour early.
We are. It just feels so weird.
It does. We fell back, and it's not even October.
I know.
We're November. No, it's November now. It's
Yes.
first week in November. Anyhow, we're here because we figured, we have our guest at 5 o'clock. Our usual time, Klaus is joining us. He's the creator of Terror in the Trenches. So we're going to talk to him about that. But we thought, you know what? We went to a convention over the weekend. We should do a comic haul. So we're going to do a comic haul for the con up in Concord. What's up, Marcus? Good to see you. And after
it's new comics,
and after that, we'll go over the new books that we got this week. So
because we didn't get a chance to do it. It has been one of those weeks.
It has been one of those weeks. So I guess we're going to start with the con stuff.
Okay, let's start with the con stuff.
You start with toys. Toys. As I rip this little price off, it's just driving me crazy. It's not like it was expensive or I'm embarrassed about it. Just get it off of there. I finally got me the little kind of hard to see. There it is. I got the Batman Mcfarlane Multiverse. This is the figure based on Jason Fabok's Batman 3 Jokers. I like this costume that Batman's wearing. It's kind of classic. The yellow around the bat symbol. And it's a very cool looking sculpture. It kind of looks like it's based a little bit on Jason's artwork. So I picked that bad boy up, which I need to do an unboxing of. So I got
Three Jokers was good too.
3 Jokers was great.
Yep, it was. I picked up just an older Godzilla. Hey, Randy, welcome. And I picked up an old Godzilla. This one is Dark Horse. I think this was probably around 87, 88. And it's just, it's a number one. I actually didn't remember if I had it. It didn't pop up. And I did not. So my memory was good. So I was pretty happy.
Oh, my God. For once, his memory was good.
It was.
So what's up, Randy? I also got, for half off, this nifty trade paperback, Batman in the 60s. I got it not for really any... I guess the reason I got it is because it starts off with some early 60s stuff. I believe this it starts off with a story from 1960 when it was still written by Bill Finger with art by Dick Sprang and Charles Paris. And I just really like that really old school art style of Batman that Dick Sprang did. Then it gets into newer stuff with Carmine Infantino when he was on the book. And then there's some Gil Kane stuff in here. And last but not least, Irv Novick, inked by Dick Giordano. Really good stuff. So had to get it for half off. So there you go. Got that.
And Hyper's in the house.
What's up, Hyper? Let's see. It's quite a haul of comics. It is. And it's a beautiful day here. Sorry to hear it's freezing rain there, but here it's 70.
I know Marcus stopped by to say hey and chatted with us, so he got to see our endless supply of comics. Yep. Logan's Run, number 6. And I think most of you, everybody that watches this channel are pretty smart in comics. This is the one that has the backup story of Thanos in it. You can never have enough copies of it. First appearance of Thanos. So
drawn by Mike Zeck.
It is.
Wait, so you already have that?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Of course.
So now you have 2 of them.
No,
I don't want it. I'm just saying.
I have 3 of them.
3 of them? Holy crap. And this one was 30? Now you have 3?
Yep.
Good.
Bobby always comes around. He always brings some good stuff. I couldn't resist. It was a nice shape. He comes to a lot of the shows and brings stuff to sell. Wow. And I usually buy something from Bobby, and I couldn't go wrong.
What's up, AJ? I told Dennis he had to wear sleeves today in case you drop by.
Well, and for those, in case Mark, if you pop on, I said I was going to wear my sleeveless today. It didn't happen. She's been on meetings the entire day. So next time it'll be ready. You're going to see the new DNA shirt.
Ooh. So I'm showing two at one time because there's a theme. Moon Knight #1. I already have the original Moon Knight #1 from 1980. I've had that for years before it was worth anything. My copy's probably worth about $20. It's not in great shape, but I want to get the old Mark Spector Moon Knight #1 because it's written by my pal Chuck Dixon, drawn by Sal Velluto, inked by Mark Farmer. So that's not a team up you usually see. And then I want to get Moon Knight #1 Fist of Khonshu. I've always liked Chris Warner's art. Chris Warner did the art in it. So I picked them up because of Moon Knight and because I already had the #1 of the original Bill Sienkiewicz series. Doug Munch, I believe, wrote it. So that's why I got those.
Those are classic.
Yes.
So shout out to Larry Allen, and he got me some really cool stuff. I watched Logan's Run the other night. Ooh, the movie or the show? The movie is great. Michael York, of course.
Thinking he means
Farrah Fawcett.
That's right. Go there and get yourself a DNA shirt.
Yeah, and next week you'll see what it looks like to have cut off sleeves. You can do that too.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you're going to wear cut off sleeves? I will Will Smith your ass.
Oh,
I will Will Smith your ass.
Oh, yeah, but I won't Chris Rock it. I'll Rochambeau you.
Oh, damn, he's going to grab my balls.
That's not grabbing it. That's a
He
mighty
said it
hard
was the
kick.
movie. That's
sweet.
Right.
I love that movie. Really do. Sanctuary. That was good.
Well, hello there, PAJ Production. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead.
Welcome. So 3 booking records. So Larry got me. These 2 are beat up, and that's okay. He knows I just want to play it. I don't care so much about the covers as long as the records play. And the Hulk and the Planet of the Apes. And this one I already did. The record's a little warped, but it played. And of course, Frankenstein. So you can already go through and check. I've did the full playthrough of it because it basically reprints Frankenstein #1 from Marvel Comics.
So is that
it's awesome. It is awesome.
I think that's. Oh, it doesn't give credit.
Oh, Randy super chatted.
I was going to say, I think it's Mike Plug.
It is.
Thank you for the $2. Andy's pimp hand is strong. You damn right it is. Don't make Andy smack a bitch.
See, it is true. So you just got paid for slapping me. So it really does work. It's the Hollywood mentality. Thank you, Randy. You just proved a point we were talking about.
This is nice. This is nice art. I remember it now.
It is cool. It is cool. And the story was good. So you can watch the entire playback. I kind of critique it. It was solid. It's got a little warp, but it played all the way through, which was nice.
General Piggy, hello to you. Hail. All right. This is my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's my turn.
Yeah,
you're trying to skip ahead. Know your role. I will slap you.
Go for it. I'll even Chris Rock you first. I'll lean into it.
Right. So I got this Spider-Man 96 Untold Tales double size spectacular, and I got it because I just discovered that Mike Allred drew it. I love Mike's work, but Joe Sinnott inked it. The Joe Sinnott, the great Joe Sinnott, inked this book over Mike Allred, and it's awesome. You can still see Mike's work in it. It has Mike's flavor to it, but you've got those nice Joe Sinnott touches in the inking. Slap them.
Yeah, go to the next one down.
I gave Andy a standing O.
You should.
Wow, Andy Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Dennis. Exactly. What the hell are you two characters doing?
We're doing our comic call, and then apparently Andy's going to stand up and get an award for doing this. Apparently,
yeah. And then after, I'm gonna.
Are you going to cry? Can you make yourself cry?
I'm going to win best. I'm going to win the Oscar for best podcast co-host.
There you go.
Sure, I'll just yank a pube. I'll start crying.
Yeah.
One of yours.
Of course.
I'll be crying from laughter.
Yeah, I'll be I was going to say, that won't be tears. Now, this one's kind of cool. I wound up getting the Mutants by Bernie Wrightson. It was in pretty nice shape. Tom, he came up out of Florida. He had some really good stuff. I picked up a bunch of stuff. So shout out to Tom and Rupp, and then Tony. You'll be seeing some of the other stuff, but I don't see this very often. He actually had one of the Art of Bernie Wrightson, but it was signed at $155. It was a little out of my price range. But
which one was it?
It was a white book, but it was Art of Bernie Wrightson. No, it was only. It was about this size. But for $155, yeah, I couldn't swing the signature.
AJ Von Klaus will be here at 5 o'clock. We came on an hour early just to talk about our comic haul. Shane Davis may drop in if a hillbilly slap fight breaks out.
So anyway, I think there's a lot of Bernie Wrightson fans. So
I've yet to see this book because it's too hard to take out of the plastic.
Yeah, he did a really nice job to make sure it wouldn't work. It's taped and then taped all the way down to the side. Ooh. So there's no playroom. Andy was like jazzing to get it. So
no, I bet everything that's in there is probably in my Bernie Wrightson and look back.
It could be. It could be. It's the Mutants.
So what else you got? I got another book. It was just another cool find. So, Kurt Swann was the main Superman artist for 30 plus years. He worked on the book all the way up until they rebooted it with John Byrne in the 80s. And in the 80s, he was inked by the legendary Al Williamson a few times. And I have some of those issues because I don't have the actual count that Al inked over him. So I was looking through a guy's dollar box, $1 bill, yo. This Superman, which is a Crisis crossover, is drawn by Kurt Swann, inked by Al Williamson, beautifully inked by Al Williamson. I love the artwork. I think they make a great pairing. So I'm trying to find as many issues as I can of Superman stuff inked by Al Williamson over Kurt Swann. They make, besides Murphy Anderson, Al did a great job. So let's see. Bernie's perspective is usually spot on. He's fantastic. Or he was, unfortunately. Left us too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, so, Dennis got a nudie magazine.
Yep. And nudie is in lots of naked apes. Or you mean the humans that they've enslaved? Planet of the Apes magazine. I actually got the first 4. I'll kind of pick them up and show it. I didn't realize. So Roy Thomas was the editor-in-chief. John Romita was the art director that was in it. So that was it was pretty cool. Artists were Mike Esposito, Mike Plug, and George Tuska.
Oh, good old George.
Yeah.
George
did. So the cool thing about these, and I really wound up hitting a lot of the magazines.
I knew it, the centerfold.
Check that out. Angel Liz, the centerfold.
Nice.
This is cool artwork that they have in there. It's on, but the other neat thing about the old magazines was that they'd have articles and stuff that are in there. I mean, think of this. This was $1.
He wants us to believe he reads the articles.
You're killing me, man.
He's like, look at those dirty apes.
1974.
Look at that dirty female ape. Oh yeah. Spank me.
So that was the number 1. I didn't have them because I was actually on a hunt for some of them. Obviously, I was able to pick up pretty decent copies of number 2. There's number 3. And yep, you guessed it, number 4. So I was able to get my hands on the first 4. They weren't the cheapest in the world, but they're just kind of different. And I do enjoy it. What are you hunting for?
I'm trying to see who inked the George Tuska stuff, but it doesn't say. That is really nice. That's a great painting on the cover too.
Yep.
That's just a great, let me just see who did the painting.
And first issue.
Oh yeah, Bob Larkin.
It's at first issue, Phantasmagoria, with an exclusive interview with Ape screenwriter Rod Serling. So, I mean, these were really cool for what they were. Yes, these didn't have color in them at this time, but the artwork is just fantastic in it. The articles were good. I mean, for nerds, this is really good nerd stuff.
It's good stuff. Speaking of George Tuska, look at that segue. I going through this guy, had great dollar stuff that was all the way back to the 80s and 70s. I picked up a little World's Finest action drawn by the one and only George Tuska. I can't get enough of George Tuska's rendition of Superman and Batman. I think he does a great job, but he hasn't done that much with those characters. So whenever I can find something drawn by George over at DC featuring those guys, I usually pick it up. Very classic artwork. George had a very unique style. He did the pencils and inks on the book. Splash page itself, I was like, I'm sold. Didn't even have to look past that. Cool shot of Superman. And like I say, did the pencils and inks. And Adam Kubert, rock star Wolverine artist Adam Kubert, did the lettering. That's how he broke into comics, doing lettering. So there you go. Mighty Geek says, sometimes color can be overrated. Exactly.
I totally agree with that, and which is also a great segue because you all know I've been hunting for this for a while.
Yeah.
Space 1999 magazine. I finished off my Charlton run of the comic books. Now it's time for the magazine. And just like what we were talking about, it is great, black and white, big size, wonderful artwork. The pencils and the inks and everything were great in here. They even have really cool, ads. Like when you open it up, come on, take a look at the ads right when you open it up. Dog tags. Yeah, but that's your first page. There's no indice. It's ads right away.
They don't make them like this anymore.
They just don't.
Come on, another great painted cover.
I know. I'm a big Space 1999 fan. I really wish they would do something with it, modernize it a bit, and call it Space 2099. You know, kind of like what they did with Battleship Yamato. But
this is from November 75.
It is. Good old 1975.
This came out when I was... Gray Moreau did the art. Gray Moreau, very fantastic artist. Great realistic type style. Really fun stuff. Yeah, there's some nice photographs in here as well.
Check out the cover. This is issue number 2. This is January of 76.
Oh, look at you.
I know. Now he didn't have that big of a run, but I have started it. I was able to get my hands on number 7.
Almost feels like the November one should be gifted to me because that's when I was born, November.
Wow, it's always about the gifting with you.
It is.
Gifts got to go both ways, Andy. Just got to go both ways.
Oh my God!
It almost looks like Steve Austin on the cover, just the way it does. I think it's just really cool. But yeah, so I was able to snag 4 of them, so I'm pretty excited.
And that's right. If you're drooling over this stuff and you want to drool over a 64-page graphic novel of superhero goodness, then definitely check out my book, First Man, in demand on Indiegogo. All the black and white art to the book is done. Here are the 2 different covers that are offered with it. One by me, one by legendary Bart Sears. So if you haven't backed this yet, go back it. I'm getting backers. I get more backers every week, so that's great. Like I said, all the art is done. I'm just waiting on final colors and some lettering stuff. You guys will love this book. The only agenda this book has is to entertain the hell out of you. Let's go back it now.
I did. I got to see all the pages now.
You did.
Can't wait.
All right, let's see that one. That's the Neil Adams
cover. It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. That's right.
Yeah, I see you're more excited about the stuff I got.
I got cheap stuff. I got a couple more dollar books here. DC Comics presents Superman and Mr. Miracle. Why? Because I had this as a kid and I don't have it anymore. It's drawn by Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano. I love Mr. Miracle. Him and Superman team up, so I had to get that. And then I also got this DC Comics presents Superman teaming up with the Legion of Superheroes, drawn by Dick Dillon, Justice League fame, However, inked by Dick Giordano, I've said it before, I will buy books that Dick Giordano has inked because I love his inking. And this was when he was in his prime, I think, in the 70s, 80s. And his inks over Dick Dillon are awesome. So there you go. What's AJ saying now? You should get Whitman to do a cover. I should. I don't think Dennis even gets that reference. I have to tell him later. That's right. I'm only $63 away from 43,000. So back that sucker today, the featured tier, and I'll be at that number. And I would so much appreciate it. All right. Let me just take that off. All right, you go right ahead. I got to reply to this guy.
Back into the exact same vein. I told you it was a good one. This is issue number 2. I did pick up issue number 1, but it's in such a big bag and board that it didn't fit in any of the boxes. So because I traveled, I had to leave a lot of my dollar stuff home. $6 Million Man. This is number 2. I did get number 1, so I got 1, 2, 7, and I'll show them there in a minute. And then, but check that out.
That's a
Neil Adams.
That is a Neil Adams painted cover. Love it.
And I love it. Again, black and white. Oh, first thing you open up, CB, baby. All of us that had CB handles, raise your hand. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So CB is the first ad, but the one in here.
I was the line guy.
You are. Check that out.
Hello?
There's my Bionic Man. There's Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman. That is just fantastic. I love this stuff that was on there. And yes, I do have my Bionic Woman number 1 signed by Lindsay Wagner, which I know we'll probably do on one of our shows again.
All I know is I'm glad it's signed and it's in a CGC case because you can wipe stuff off outside of that case.
Oh,
if you spill something.
AJ says, sorry, I am not old. I know, but you don't have to be old to appreciate this.
Dude, the whole artness is by Neil's company, Continuity. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the same company that did like the Star Trek book and records.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying this is nice. I need to try and hunt one of these down. I didn't know he did the insides as well. I thought it was just the cover.
Look at that. Now Andy's wishing he would have hunted these
down.
Well,
now I got to see how much is. Well, did he do number 2? Is that number 2?
That's number 2.
Oh, this is number 2.
Number 1 is back home. I couldn't bring because it's in a much bigger container. It didn't fit.
Is that Neil Adams as well?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep. So I suppose you want to find out if. I also have number 7. So now I guess we're going to have to crack this one open.
Well, because I know you're not shy about things. I will ask, what's number 1 go for these days?
$40.
Number 1's only 40?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. What'd this go for?
That one was 35.
Oh. And I assume that's number 3?
Oh yeah. No, I couldn't get a 3. They didn't have a 3.
Oh,
they got a 7.
Oh.
But check this out when you open it up. Oh yeah, look at that. Still shots from it.
Oh yeah. All right, let me see this.
Yep. Oh, this one's not in as good a shape, but that's okay.
It's okay, Dennis. We'll forgive you.
Look at Randy's like Lindsay Wagner with hearts. Yeah, she was amazing. Seriously, I think almost everybody that watched it back in the day kind of had a crush on her and Linda Carter. It's kind of like the Linda Carter
Nope,
thing.
This is drawn by Jack Sparling Studio.
So at some point they changed studios.
But I tell you what, that 1 and 2, I got something to look for on eBay now. I got to get me those. That's some great Neil Adams Studio black and white stuff.
We're going to have to do a little research and find out how many that Neil Adams actually did. I'm surprised Jackson didn't come up.
Envy is one of the 7 deadly sins, Andy. So what?
He's all about sins. He's already slapped me, so violence is up there.
That's right. Last book for me, which is no big deal. I used to have it as a kid, don't have it anymore, but for $1 bill, yo, I was like, you know what? I will get it again. And that is History of the DC Universe, Part 1. George Perez art. Had to get it. Now I just need to get part 2, and I'll have them both. And I totally forgot about this book. I remember when it came out as a kid and reading it, and it really is a nice timeline of the DC universe from, back then. Now it's all out the window, but it's still very cool. So I picked it up.
Well,
oh yeah, I'll be looking through this.
I bet you will.
Well,
I snagged multiple copies. Y'all know that I've got the first Betsy Braddock, which I went over and got a Chris Claremont signed one over when I was in London. And these are really hard to find. I never see these at any of the shops, almost none of the conventions. So I was really excited to find Captain Britain. So I've kind of decided I may go pick these up. What do you say?
And now all those DC characters are gay. Welcome to hell.
Not wrong. It's true. But no, this is just good classic. I love the old paper. It's that really good. Chris Claremont wrote it. Herb Trimp. Yep, and Fred Kita were the artists in this one.
Yeah.
These don't hold up as well.
I can't remember.
I do not have a number 1. I now have, I think it's 7 or 8 is the first appearance of Betsy. So I've got a slab one of that.
This has a great Steranko shield reprint in the back. Very cool. It's got a thing, or I should say a Fantastic Four story. Look at that. Look, there's something John Buscema.
Parts of it are colored. Parts of it are not. They're black and white, pencils and inks.
Oh, there you go. But here's something you never thought somebody would do with, with one of these. Oh, yeah. Look at that pinup. Nick Fury, baby.
Isn't that awesome?
Fury. Look at that. Good stuff. There you go.
Oh, Randy Howell. Randy used to have the number 1. Now I'm
nice.
I've got
the older ones where he's in the new costume and stuff.
So then I picked up number 5 in the same vein. Road to Hell.
Now let me see number 5. I'm going to open it.
Okay.
We got tons of time.
We do. We have plenty of time. Just don't want to keep everybody waiting.
Nobody cares.
We're going to stick this.
They love us opening comics.
It's like Christmas time.
It is. You get to experience our joy.
Especially when we're there shopping. Marcus got to experience it because he saw us bringing it back and then popping some of them open. And then, of course, I wound up having, they were a little pricier, but I wound up picking up issues 18 and 19 because Red Skull, you bet they have Red Skull stories. And I was like,
I got to look at those for sure.
I already knew you were going to say that.
No, I'll tell you why once I see it. This is a great one. This collects the famous fight between the Thing and the Hulk from that early Fantastic Four. It also has another great Shield story in it and more fantastic artwork by Herb Trimp and Fred Kita.
Yep. So this one's still in the same vein. So you've got your classic color in the front. And again, I just love the old color. I love the smell of the books. Oh, it's just good stuff. And then we get into the middle story, and that is just penciled and inked. And then when we get to the back story, and Andy's rubbing his hands together already. Oh, just look at that. Look at that. We even got a pinup. Bam.
Bam.
And because these are so much bigger. So hang on just for a second. Well, here, I'll let you look. I'm just going to show the guys. For those of you who don't get these, see the size difference? If we kind of compare them to a regular modern comic with them, they're just so much bigger. They're awesome to read.
This Shield stuff reprinted on this newsprint. Larger is great. The John Buscema Fantastic Four stuff. Oh yeah, this is great stuff. What's the other one? Open up that last one.
Oh boy.
Or I'll do it while you put it back. It's up to you.
Well, here, go ahead.
I'll do it.
because I know you're dying to.
All right, let's look at this last one,
which is the second part of the Red Skull.
The Red freaking Skull.
Now these were $20 a pop, but they're in pretty nice shape.
2 backboards.
Well, yeah, these are double boarded because this is really
for your pleasure.
That's flimsy. Yes,
that's true.
No, it's not. They're not ribbed bags.
I do love the smell of these. Nothing I like more than the smell of old comics and a juicy one that I rip out in the room by myself and I can just sit there. Let's be real, guys. You like the smell of your own. I don't know one guy that's ever ripped one and been like, oh my God, that's disgusting, unless it's someone else's.
This was one topic I never thought we would have to worry about.
But it's true.
But
Joe Sinnott inking Jim Steranko, classic Shield stuff reprinted. Good googly moogly.
Exactly. It's the chefs.
Good.
For those of you wondering if Andy actually acts and talks like this, like not just on the show, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes. This is very normal Andy.
I like the ferment.
Isn't that cool though?
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are not the issues I'm looking for though. I do have a wish list with Captain Britain, and besides number 1, it's later issues when John Buscema took over doing the art on the stuff. I think I like Herb stuff, but that's why I want number 1 because Herb did, number 1. So,
yep.
But that's $6 million, man. That is some good,
and it's
stuff.
Good looking. It is good.
All right, are we done with our haul? That's it. So I guess we're in the new.
I actually got a stack of newer stuff, but I didn't bring it just because of space, and I'm not at home, so I couldn't bring the newer stuff. But it was mainly, I did some cross-gen stuff, some Solar Lord. I actually picked up the entire Image run.
Yes.
So there was some good books that I was able to get. Jackson had a bunch of really good dollar books that were in there that I found, and a couple of them I wound up having doubles, but that's okay. They're $1.
That's
it happens.
Exactly. So new stuff. Grab your stacky stack.
I'll grab my stack.
My stack of 3. So I did buy new comics this week, believe it or not. I got not 1, not 2. I got 3 books this week. That is a large week for this guy.
That's like a triple week. So what's the first one you got?
Well, they're down in the house, but there's one overlap between Dennis and I.
Oh, it's got to be this one.
So we'll go with the overlap first. Silver Surfer Rebirth number 3.
Now I did not have time to pop up digital pictures because we had an early show, and by the time I got back, so I figured we'll just bring them and we will show them to you guys. I only got 3 quick flips up. The 2 new X-Men, and somebody wanted Radiant Black up already. So
good afternoon, Stat Zero.
Oh, Stat Zero joined. Welcome. So yeah, I have been picking this one up, and
yeah, it's fun.
It is. This is kind of harkens me back to the good old days when Marvel was good.
They say you can't go back in time, and I call it bullshit. Because when I read that book, I feel like I'm in the 90s again.
Exactly. That and X-Men Legends. That really is some of the good stuff they're putting out. I've really enjoyed the X-Men Legends series. So what's the second book you got, Andy?
I got the new Hulk, Incredible Hulk book by, I guess it's Donny Cates writing it. But I'm buying it because I love Ryan Ottley's artwork, and he draws big dudes awesomely. So now he's drawing this new Hulk book. It's issue number 5. The storyline's not too bad. It's a little freaky weird where, Banner is piloting this Hulk ship, which obviously is just, I guess, a version of the Hulk and whatever. And the way he powers the ship is there's this other version of the Hulk that he taps into that is just raging all the time. And the more raging he does, the more power the ship has. It's weird, but the art is kick-ass. So Hulk number 5. Full transparency, if it's a 6-issue initial story arc, I'll decide after the initial story arc if I want to keep getting it or not. But I'll finish the story arc. It's issue 5. I assume it's 6 issues. then I'll decide. So that's the second book I got.
Nice. Another cool one I was really excited for today. G.I. Joe, Saturday morning cartoons, Real American Hero, issue number 2. I just got the quick flip up. I think I did this one too. I absolutely love this. Is a throwback. I do have a really cool story to go over this. So my nephew just had his birthday, and he's into Roblox and Fortnite, that kind of stuff, right? Minecraft. So I wound up getting him Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow stuff. He had zero clue. Zero. Never heard of G.I. Joe, never heard of Snake Eyes, because they're not part of Minecraft. They're not part of any of the good stuff.
That's right.
So he's like, what are they? I'm like, dude, they're ninjas. Oh, ninjas are cool. All kids like ninjas. So his ears perked. Well, I went on YouTube and found a 22-minute video of Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow and kind of their history. He loved it. So much so that when I wound up having to take my niece to the swim meet and stuff like that, we got home, he started watching the original G.I. Joe's cartoon. And they've got on YouTube right now, all of them. And he already watched the first 13 episodes. He just started plowing through them, loved them. But that is the kind of artwork and stuff that we get. It harkens back to it. He's already got a figure, so I know I'm going to take
Eric
him.
the Guapo, hello.
Eric's in the house. Welcome.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
This is, I really hope they do something with like Transformers and do it in the vein of it with the Saturday morning cartoons. I would be all over that one as well. This is just good classic stuff. So I now have my nephew hooked on G.I. Joe. So Tracy, if you're watching, we're maybe coming up and visiting your store for some figures, seeing what kind of classic figures, because he already knows the name of a bunch of the
he can
characters.
afford those.
Okay, well, maybe not the classic, but maybe they have the reissues.
Way to tease him. Not only did you teach him about classic G.I. Joe, but if you take him to Tracy's store and let him see all those figures he can't afford, you're going to teach him what blue balls are. Real nice, Dennis.
Wow.
He's going to see all the stuff he wants, he can't touch, and can't have. He's going to learn that lesson young.
Yeah, Statistical Zero says they lost their license. No more of it. Wow. I know. IDW, it's kind of a shame. I think it got picked up by Skybound, right?
Which one?
Kirkman? G.I. Joe.
So they're only allowed to do that one now?
Not sure how the license is going to work.
I think Kirkman might have.
So I know he was in talks for picking up, let's see, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and I think there was a third one. So if you guys know the absolute answer, just type it down below and we'll pop it up on the up on the screen. Well, this started the new day of, yes, X-Men has relaunched all their number ones, starting out. Jonathan Hickman, Declan Shalvey are doing it. I just put my quick flip up for it.
God damn it, Dennis.
I know, and look how big it is, too.
Whoa.
$5.99.
One day I don't wear pants, and he asked man, we're on a live stream. The price of the book. That would be, look how much it is.
That's a big book. I'll even let you feel that one.
That's weighty.
Right?
Whatever happened to the overweight lesbian Eskimo G.I. Joe? I think they cut her open and used her for heat, kind of like Luke Skywalker did.
Oh my God, was that a Will Blubber joke? Did you just go there?
Yeah, I did go there.
That is so insensitive because she has a condition.
She like that supersized model whose name escapes me. She suffers from it's not bulimia, it's anorexia.
Oh boy. Yep. Now it's created a whole new thing. Anyway, that's a good idea for a comic. Marcus says, oh no, the Joes will be zombies.
Oh yeah. Will Dennis X suffering ever end? I wouldn't hold my breath. Neither would I. I think he needs an intervention.
Just so you know, Hyper, I dropped some books today. I brought in my little list and I dropped Alien. So Alien is now gone. So I've whittled down another one. Like Hyper, the problem is you have a memory like an elephant. You never forget. The problem is you don't forget what Andy says. Of all people you listen to have remember, you listen to him.
Here's my thing is, what you dropped Alien?
I did.
I thought you liked that book.
I did. The first arc I thought was fantastic. Second one I'm not liking as much. It's all right. And I'm like, you know what? I've got so many books right now. I'm kind of dropping my all right ones. I dropped Bolero, Heathens. They had a second Heathens book. I dropped that one. There were a number of them that made my cut. So I whittled my Marvel down, except for my X-Men.
Alien is the only mainstream book I'm buying. Well, there you go.
Yep.
And Randy says Kirkman Skybound has picked up a number of Hasbro licenses, G.I. Joe, Transformers. IDW still has My Little Pony.
Okay, My Little Pony. So there were only 2. All right, that is good to know. Now, this one's been a great book. I did my quick flip on this, so it's up to you guys. Go check it out because I already had somebody ask they already want the full review, and I'm going to. This is issue number 13, Radiant Black. This one starts, I think they're going to call it season 2 or year 2. So episode or issue 12 ended basically their episodes. They're starting with the new year. So this is the launch of their new story. So we're going to see how good it is. Radiant Black was Radiant Red number 1 came out. That was solid. You get to find out about her background. So it's still the same. It's still Higgins and Costa's back doing it. So the artwork's been really good in it. The story's been solid. This has been a solid book. As long as they keep up with this quality, this may be a book I just keep on my forever list.
Wow. Do you know how hard it is to get on Dennis's forever list? I just made it, and I've known the guy for years now. I mean, it's amazing. His wife is not even on the forever list yet.
Nope. But I don't know. Did you get a Christmas card? That tells you if you made the list.
No, you bastard.
Oh, there it is. You didn't get a Christmas card.
Well, now I know who I can strike off my Christmas card list.
Oh, there we go. It's tit for tat.
It is.
I actually don't send out Christmas cards anymore. That's why.
Darth Vader. Put X in front of the title and Dennis will buy it forever.
I know you're going to keep teasing me. And you're not wrong so far, but honestly...
My X Little Pony.
Speaking of X...
Oh, no.
Immortal X-Men number 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
So after the ho-hum experience of the death and lives of Wolverine comes Immortal X-Men number 1. Oh, the Quiet Council. What's going to happen? I don't know. This book on the surface feels like it's a lot of politics. It kind of is giving me the feeling of Star Wars. Instead of lightsaber battling, it's when they're all sitting around in the Senate and sitting there talking about the Senate, which obviously is my most favorite Star Wars stuff, is the incredible Senate discussions that they have. If they bring in Jar Jar Binks, this might just shoot right to the top.
Are you reading our comment? Your comment?
Well, let's see. There's lots of comments.
No, the one I have up on the screen.
Oh, comics will always be Dennis's first love. That is true. I do love comics.
Are they calling the book Women X yet? Not yet.
Not yet. Well,
hey,
they're gonna. I got a feeling they're gonna put out. They did the Women of Marvel. Pretty soon they got so many women. It's going to be the Women of X. And they did say, "Don't call us X-Men. We are X people." They did make that comment. Sounds like crap. Why do you buy that?
Well, did you hear that apparently Disney employees, when you come to their park and stuff like that, instead of saying, "Have a great day, boys and girls. Hello, Dad and Dad,
right.
Mom, whatever," they're dumping that.
Right. No boys and girls anymore.
Have a good at Disney. It's going to be have a good day, everybody. Have a good day, everyone. No more. Have a good day, boys and girls.
They have gone gender neutral at Disney.
Jesus.
You know what I say to Disney now? I'm done. Yep. Thank God we had gone to Universal because my wife's a huge Harry Potter fan. We had done that. I don't need to go to Disney. Don't ever need to go to Disney. Disney has ruined everything, and they can't help themselves.
Hello, biological life forms. Exactly.
Oh, that might upset somebody. Here's one that I'm not sure how it got in my poll list because I don't think I got number 1. So I am going to have to find out I did it. It says warning mature content. It's SourcePoint Press. So usually if SourcePoint Press comes out with something, he always tries to get it for me, even if it's not on my list. It's called In His Own Image. So for some reason, I don't think I got a number 1. So I'm curious. I don't really know a lot about this one. So when I do my quick flick, I'm going to be doing it. Gabriel Schiavone wrote it and drew it. So don't know anything about this one. So if you guys have heard of it, you can let me know. But this was not on my poll, but it's in there, which means I'll probably try and get a number 1 and see what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah, did you see the Oscars have new guidelines for movies they'll accept for Best Picture now?
Oh, is there a checklist now or what? Oh,
no, seriously, there is. A movie has to contain certain aspects or whatever you want to call it. It has to have LGBTQ representation. It needs to be diverse. Oh, yeah, there is.
I had not heard that. I know Netflix, that's basically most of the programming.
That is,
but in order to be considered a Best Picture,
correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard about the Oscars.
They want to have 50% less
Disney,
LGBT in movies and TV shows.
Yeah. In His Own Image. Is that the Obama story? Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, correct me if I'm wrong.
Obama.
I heard that for the new Oscars, to be in contention for Best Picture, it has to have a diverse cast, and it literally you have to check certain boxes off. Well, you heard about the NFL, right? The NFL you have to have a female, at least one female assistant coach, I believe. You didn't hear about that?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, fill us in.
I just did. No, I think that's I'm distracted. I can see out my window and UPS is delivering something.
Oh, he's getting distracted. He's getting goodies delivered.
Hold on here. I'm gonna look up the NFL thing since we have time to kill before our next thing. Let's see. Stat says so now they just tailor their movies to that and right, exactly. It's stupid.
Wow.
Yes, to be considered for an Oscar, a movie has to meet specific diversity requirements. Yeah, just Google it.
Oh my God. You know what?
Oh, real quick too, before I forget, I always do this. Did you see the NFL change the playoff overtime rules in postseason?
No, I didn't get an update. I've gotten the NFL thing. So
dun, 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 dun,
NFL
dun,
break.
Dun, 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 dun. Postseason only. If a game goes into overtime in the NFL, each team gets a possession.
There we go. There
you go.
Good. No, I hadn't seen that one come through.
Yep. There you go. I'm just looking.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll pop up the
see.
finale, the great finale that all of you have been on pins and needles waiting for. Dark Ages number 6. Oh, the big Marvel crossover.
Shit.
Dark Ages, and let's spoil it. Oh, look at that. They're at the Arc de Triomphe. Been there. The end. Oh, look at that.
You just spoiled it for people?
I just did.
Okay, so Marcus says, yes, female or person of color offensive coach that works closely with the head coach. So there you go.
So what we're saying is we are no longer hiring the best people for the job. Maybe
It's not.
It's your blood honey box.
That's coming through regular USPS. I think I know what it is. So,
you know, he did mention the blood honey box twice today already.
That's because somebody didn't get it.
I know. I was wondering, trying to figure out if the figures had come in yet. It doesn't look like it because, you know, I did get Heather. I did get my Heather figure.
We could try it.
Yes, we said we would try it. We are probably going to do maybe Fantastic Four. If we can do it, We may get copyright strike. We don't
But
know.
you'll find out while you're doing it.
We just
if it's that type.
right. Well, we found out because we did the Chris Rock video the other day and Will Smith, and we got a copyright strike because we showed the slap. So apparently that's a no-no. Apparently a lot of people are getting slapped down for showing it. But I'm like, all right. Techno Freak, American Mythology Productions. This one, I don't know why I stuck with it. It was kind of fun. It's different. It's a futuristic kind of cyberpunk one. I like oddball, little comics. And while this wasn't phenomenal, it wasn't bad, but it was so different. It was kind of fun, kind of cute, kind of neat. So I don't know. I just kind of stuck with it.
Sassy.
For $4, it's something different, something very not mainstream. Just reenact the slap. So I don't know if any of you saw, but there were a number of people out there today that were doing close-up pictures of the slap heard around Hollywood. And they actually showed, when you zoomed in on Chris Rock, that it almost looks like he's wearing an overlay on his face that goes like here.
Now I'm going to Google it.
We're going to have to see. And then they're showing it. It almost looks like there's like a plate or a face mask partial on there. So is it a setup? Was it staged? We were having our discussion. And I know that the internet is mixed. Some are saying it was staged. Some are saying it was authentic.
It was authentic. Good Lord.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you're necessarily in the minority or majority on this one.
What are you looking at? There's a close-up. After he got smacked, obviously.
I don't. I'm just showing you what they were showing in on.
Well, I'm just telling you that the guy's just trying to pull one. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, Dennis. It was real. Damn it.
Well, it's about time we do reenact that one.
Shouldn't Andy Smith get an exemption for slap content? I should.
He is slapstick.
Slap worthy.
Yep. My Date with Monsters. That was another one for today. I say, who gives a crap? But notice that's all anybody has talked about since Sunday night.
Well, and this was the second.
Do you know there's
Oscars.
no COVID anymore?
Nope.
There's no Ukrainian war anymore. There's no Matt Gaetz introducing all of the Russiagate stuff into the congressional record. That didn't get shown. Suddenly, there's nothing else other than Will Smith and Chris Rock. How is that? Grassley, he stood before Congress and gave evidence. Oh yeah, we can't talk about that because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Just saying. Gonna go there.
He went there.
I went there. There's a reason. Now, Heathens. This one's been kind of fun. I've been waiting for this one to come out.
It's because it's your life story, you heathen.
Exactly. Now I kind of want to sing the song, Suicide Squad. Oh, you heathens. Anyway, final issue. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I'm probably going to do a full review on it. Cullen Bunn, he has been really active. And he's put out some pretty decent stuff. So kudos for these small publishers for getting somebody to do it. Oh, there's my variant cover. I got one variant cover of Immortal X-Men by accident.
By accident.
It literally fell
goes
into
in.
it.
He goes in. The store, the owner of the store that we know hands him his stack, and Dennis just blindly goes, "Okay, thank you," and then looks to see if there's anything else on the rack he wants, buys the stuff, goes home, flips through, and goes, "I don't ever remember this book. Hey, how'd that get in there?"
I know, it just happens.
That's why you get issues of faith and not know it.
It's a disease. Yeah, it is how I got an issue of faith. Rise of Dracula. This has been the reimagining Source Point Press. Rich Davis wrote this. It was great talking to him at a couple of conventions ago. We actually saw him. He did The Cult of Dracula. This is the follow-up, which is The Rise of Puis Calzada's doing the artwork that's in it. It's solid. I enjoyed the story. I'm liking his complete reimagining on him. So this has been really solid stuff. So I'm glad. I think there's 2 more. I think it's a 6-issue series on this one.
Carl Dude says, did you get the Hulk Grand Design monster comic that came out today? I looked through it. I thought it looked really cool. However, I did not get it because fool me once, fool me twice. You know the saying, after X-Men Grand Design, they did those really big treasury size ones. I got to be honest, I'd rather, for a $6 per book price tag on Hulk Grand Design, I'd rather wait until they're all collected and they do a big treasury one and buy that, which I have a feeling will probably be in time for Christmas. So, I'll wait.
Yep.
I thought it looked really good, but I'll wait.
I got the X-Men Grand Design when they came out. I thought it was neat. The art wasn't. It was an interesting concept. I thought it was cool. I paid the money for the comics. Got a couple different covers, and then they came out with the bigger ones, and they're just so much better. So I did. I kind of flipped through it, and I went, I kind of like the X-Men one. I don't know with the Hulk, so I decided against it. So I did not buy it. Right? Now, if it was X-Hulk, that might have been different. But it wasn't.
Now, let's see. Hold on. Jim Rugg was canceled last week. Oh, you'll have to fill us in on what he did.
I'll bet you know why I got this cover. Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
Oh, let me guess. Perillo.
It's a Perillo, my boy Perillo. I got his cover. So, yep. And Unholy's been pretty good. The Dracula Vampirella story looks good. And look,
there you go.
As if right on time. Well, the last book,
go
another one that accidentally fell in was the other cover of the other X book.
2 variant covers that fell into his pull list this week.
I was like, oh, here's my list. And I went, oh, and it just slid right in.
Oh, man.
So anyway, that was our books. Look for the rest of the quick flips probably tomorrow. It's going to be a long night tonight, so I probably won't get to them tonight. And then just comment below when you do them and let me know if you want a full review on any of them, and I will start getting to it. But with that being said, Andy, we got somebody in the house.
I know. We have our guest. Vaughn is here. So without further ado, Terror in the Trenches creator in the house. Oh, God, I get a comment. I got to click on it. Dennis is keeping that comic store afloat. No, they do great business. It's a great store, actually. Fun toys. It's a really nice store. So
I do help. We all play our part in keeping our local comic book stores afloat.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. Who cares? Dennis, keep Jordan White employed. There you go.
All right.
Anyhow, what is up, brother man?
Hey. Thanks for having me, man. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, dude. Good to see you. This is Dennis, by the way.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, nice to see you.
Good
How's it going?
Man, life is busy, but it's fun. I'm making comics, and I can't complain.
Well, we're going to find out a lot more because, honestly, we've only been on 1 or 2 streams together, and I don't know that much about your background and stuff.
Okay.
So
well,
I figured
background check initiate.
We can talk about that, and then obviously Terror in the Trenches as well. So, Dennis, Dennis has a question he likes to ask everybody.
Yep. Some of our audience may know you, other ones won't. So it's always great to know. I love asking the superhero, what's your origin story? How'd you get into comic books? And did you wind up getting a nemesis?
Man, you haven't lived life if you haven't had a few nemesis.
That's right.
Along the
Nemesi.
way. A few nemesi. But how did I get in? Well, as a kid, some of the most fun I had was drawing, and in the 80s, a little something called Eastman and Layard's Ninja Turtles hit shops. Mm-hmm. And so I went to my first comic book shop to get that and a copy of Wolverine. I was there for the violent, awesome, dark Avenger comics. And from there, my love of comics grew because you walk into a shop for the first time, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's a thing of magic. It changes your life. Even the smell of the print press, you remember it forever, Yeah. And so, that got me into it. But after I got into the Ninja Turtles, I sat down and I drew my first comic. It ended up being a trilogy about a possum and a rabbit and a dog who lived in a world of like noir and crime and fought off the evil lizards and the evil rats. And it was violent as hell and very Ninja Turtle inspired. And from then on, I was making comics. So
That's cool.
That is.
yeah. And throughout my life, I tried to do everything else, but comics. And now I actually finally do them. But so comics was always in the background, though, for all these different events into high school. I mean, I made kind of a Ghost in the Shell style book then. And then into college, I started to make more serious. I started to get more serious about the books I was making without taking it too seriously still, because I never published anything until Monster MD. So that was the first time I really came on the scene with that on Indiegogo and stuff. And I always saw it as a hobby that I couldn't do seriously to make real money, it's just something I loved. So along the way, I was in med school. I was a bouncer. I was,
dude, you went to med school for a bit?
Yeah.
To be a bouncer. To become
a bouncer and
you
be more
know
efficient. The anatomy breaking and
I know it's a tangent, but that's just, how long did you go for?
I just did 1 year, man.
Oh, okay.
I was I think I'm gonna follow in my family's footsteps. I have like a medical family, and I was like, I'm gonna follow in the footsteps. But I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. I wanted to bust criminals and do the Silence of the Lambs science stuff. I'm into forensics and stuff like that. So but then I was like, I don't want to cut little dead girls open for a living, man, and have to talk about the horrible things that happened to them. And it would be too depressing. It would just, and while I was in school, guess what I was doing? Drawing comics. I was drawing Battle Chasers. I was drawing Spider-Man. I had a Batman thing going. I love Star Wars. I think back by then the prequels had come out, and Star Wars was just awesome and fun and exciting again. So yeah, it was a life of trying everything else. I tried to be a graphic designer after the medical stuff, moved on from that, and then I went to Italy and studied art there for a little bit, and did a semester there, and then came back and decided I didn't want to do college, and I decided I was a blue collar guy, and I worked in an industrial pipe factory for a little while. And we made oil rig pipes, which was kind of cool. I liked the idea of just like a good hard day's work, good pay, and then you come home, and then do whatever you want. That place was so nasty for my health, like the chemicals and
I was going to say, I mean, that just seems like, that seems like big factory type stuff. I don't, man, that's pretty hardcore.
It is. I mean, Zoolander would say that's how you get the black lung.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing about it was they would point over to this book that was sitting out on this little desk thing right in the middle of the factory and go, if you want to know all the chemicals and things that your body's dealing with, you can just look at that book right over there. And it's like this book that's like double the thickness of a Bible. And it's stuck, all the pages are stuck together from the factory chemicals, so you can't open it anyway. I just laughed my ass off. It's like covered in black char, Oh, it was so funny. But yeah, I would bleed out of my nose in the shower when I came home from work.
No way!
I wasn't there too long, maybe like a year, right? And when I came home from work one day, my roommate, who had never paid a cent of rent, had skipped town on me and left me high and dry. So I wasn't going to be able to afford rent. So I moved out of there and winged it and moved to Austin, Texas. And when I went there, what did I do? I started making comics. I worked a lot of different jobs there. I did album cover design and stuff, and CD packaging for a lot of the local bands because it's a big music place, and that was kind of fun. But I was making comics in the background of that the whole time. I ended up drawing and inking, writing 2 books before I left there. And then I ran like an online cosplay store for like anime and manga stuff, which sold really well back then. That was like on the edge of like Naruto coming to the States. Like they were about to come hit, and like it was just this big time of anime and manga, so like that did really well, but I didn't want to do that for a living, man. I wanted to be big screenwriter.
Did you just shut down that store?
I liquidated, man. I took all the money that I got from it, and I went back to school for to film school in Chicago. So it was trying to be a writer, screenwriter, director time in my life. I was like 26 by then.
Yeah.
And so I'm like the slightly older guy in the classes, but like that's good because I'm more focused and I can bond with my professors, and I had a great time. Got really into screenwriting and got really good at it. And that has all this stuff has influenced me as like a creator for my comics, you know?
Yeah, I don't think younger people definitely wouldn't get it. And that's, you know, it's stuff our parents probably told us, but you know, everything you do has an influence on what you eventually end up doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Even at the time, if you're like, oh, this is just such a waste, you know, this is worthless. And then you never know. It could be years down the road, you're doing something and it clicks. You're like, oh crap, that did work, you know? So.
Yeah, like you're like, damn it, am I good at anything? You know, a lot of your life, like a lot of it. And I was failing at everything, but in a weird way, I'm so glad I did. Because I got to try so many things and experience so many things and learn what really works for me and what really doesn't. And in the end, comics is where it's at, man. I tried the Hollywood thing. I actually did very well in school for screenwriting and stuff. All the teachers were coming to me and having me write stuff for their classes to produce and make. Like for the animation department, I got to write for the advanced animation classes, and then they actually animated my script. I got to write then they put a budget behind one of my projects, a short I had written that they had given all these awards to, and they loved it. And I was so excited because I was like, man, when this short gets made and if this wins awards, this sets me up to have a film career, guys. Like, this is the real deal. And then they gave it to this young, you know, they gave it to a team of college kids to make it because it's our school producing it, of course.
Right.
And the director was a political activist type, and he destroyed my script. I would say he inverted my script. Like he destroyed the meaning of it. He turned it political. He made it vengeful. He made it not heartwarming, you know, the whole thing. And I was amazed because it had already won awards. Why didn't he believe in that and just make that and use that as the blueprint? And then he would have been successful and won awards too. Like we would have both benefited. So I had to talk with him on the phone about it. I tried to talk him into actually just staying true to it, but he didn't want to do it. So he ended up making this kind of abomination that, you know, didn't win any awards, didn't go anywhere. He just moved on from it. He didn't really promote it or anything. And I learned a big lesson, man. Like political people and activism and that type of messaging will, it's like putting your art in a blender and just destroying it. And that was a big lesson for me. And another thing that led me kind of on the path to where I am now, I think, because I realized I have to make stuff on my own terms. I can't have all these other fingers in it. I wrote this great script for this guy who was doing a stage play in Chicago. And when I went to the party raising money for it, I saw pages on the table. I was excited to see my work on the table and all these people could come by and look at it or whatever. But it was completely changed. You know, nobody told me about it. And he changed everything about it and made it really like tacky and cheesy and whatever. And I was just like, what's the point? Like, why do I even do this? Like, but when I make comics, it's all me, man. It's all the way I want it to be. I love it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's cool. So when you did Monster MD, was that your first published stuff then, or?
Yeah, I just
all the other stuff you did was just stuff you just did on your own and whatnot. And
yeah, I mean, I did try to submit a pitch to Dark Horse Comics some years ago. Just like anyone else trying to break in and big envelopes, trying to mail that in, and didn't hear anything as you would expect. But but other than that, I usually just made comics and then just kind of stopped. Like didn't necessarily finish them. If I did finish them back then, I was putting them online for people to read. I made one called Kataru Witch Hunter, and then I made one called Monster MD with a different artist than the one I used for the actual Indiegogo campaign. And then that artist bailed on me on the last 5 pages. He turned in some scribbles as kind of an FU to me. And I was like, oh man, okay, what do I do? Like now the book isn't finished. It's not, you know, I felt like almost quitting comics, I remember. And
so then, did you have the whole thing redrawn?
I did. I had to make a decision. Like I found Monica, right? And I
Right.
was like, if I could do it with Monster MD with this artist, we'd have magic, we'd have gold. So I was like, but I'd have to start over from square one. That's a big move. So yeah, I took the leap of faith, and it was worth it. Monica was
definitely
amazing.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
Wow, 5 pages.
I know. I don't know why he got so bent out of shape and did that at the end. We could have just turned him in, you know. It was weird. I don't know what happened with that dude, but he got really nasty towards the end, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to go somewhere. I was just like gonna put the book behind me and go, welp, just another failure, you know, because that's the thing that people don't tell you. Like, kids, listen up, all right? Before you become an artist, like, imagine hitting your head up against a brick wall for hours, like every day for a year.
Well, I mean,
like, you're
you know Calvin and Hobbes and how many strips he submitted before Calvin and Hobbes, right?
I have no idea. How many?
Bill Watterson submitted, if I remember correctly, I want to say 17 plus different strips before Calvin and Hobbes. And I don't know if you know about submitting for syndicates. And now remember, this goes back to 1985. Because the strip ran, you know, from 85 to 95. And the submission process for a syndicated strip really hasn't changed. So you have to submit 6 weeks worth of strips. So you got to submit 42 strips, including the Sundays. So 6 weeks. So, you know, 36 daily strips and 6 Sunday strips, just for the possibility of getting rejected.
Right.
And then you do it all over again. I mean, my co-writer on First Man, Rob Snyder, he's a great cartoonist as well. He's tried the syndicate thing, and it like, people are like, oh, it's hard to get into comics. Oh, it's hard to get into the syndicate. It's really hard now because of how papers are going away. But even back when I was in the Kubert school in the late 80s, early 90s, you're looking at syndicates. I think the average they said was, you know, if they get, for every 1,000 submissions, they might pick 2 strips. Yeah. And back then, once again, way, you know, before the internet, all that, newspapers were so huge. You know, he submitted over and over, and it just took him that long until Calvin and Hobbes finally landed.
Yeah, Statistical Zero is actually just mirroring that. 2,000 to 4,000 submissions a year with only 2 to 5 picked a year.
Yep.
So,
and 2 to 5
of 1% of everything that's out there gets picked.
And the thing is, usually you don't start off at enough paper. So, you know, I listened to Scott Adams, and I've talked to him a couple of times, you know, the Dilbert guy. And when he first created Dilbert, which I think he said this is the 30th anniversary, either this year or last year was. But, you know, I think he said for the first 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, he was still working a 9 to 5 job. You know?
It's so common, man. And you don't know that part. You only ever hear about the success part, you know?
Right.
I love hearing about all the trials and all the like horrors. And my favorite are the stories where it's like they were in their 40s when they finally made it. Those are my favorite.
Have you heard, I don't know if this has ever been said in comics, but in the entertainment field, actors and stand-up comedians and stuff will say this. And the reason I actually know people that this really applies to right now is, you know, they'll be like, oh my God, you're an overnight success. And then the person you're saying it to will be like, yeah, that took 10 years to get here.
Exactly.
You know, and I know 2 guys that I did stand-up open mic stuff with back in 2005. And then I stopped doing it. I was like, you know, it's really, there's so much work that goes into it. And my love was comics and whatnot. But these guys kept at it, and they had full-time jobs back then. Now they both make a living touring, doing stand-up comedy.
Nice.
You know,
the amount of work and grit you have to and just time you put in, and the amount of I can't tell you how many moments you have where you're like, I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to be done.
There's so much easier stuff to do.
I know, but nothing gives me that satisfaction. Like, I don't love those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just it. Like, to me,
It's a harsh mistress.
You go through these ups and downs, and for me, what I mean is like, I do obviously enjoy the process of drawing and creating, but there is the big satisfaction when it's finished, just to sit back and look at it.
Yeah.
But then I get to that, so that's high, but then I hit this low right after, whereas my eyes start seeing everything wrong.
The curse.
And then that pushes me to get back to the table.
Right.
To do it again. So in my mind, I can fix everything on this go around, even though it's a totally different piece, whatever. And then it's just a circular thing. I get that high when it's done, then it's like, oh, back to the table. Da, 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 da. Oh, you know.
Yeah,
but
I call it a curse. I really do. Because you look back at your work and you go, that's wrong. That's it. I could have done this better, that bad, that bad. That. It's horrible, but it's great to be that way. You're always going to improve your work.
Yeah.
Always going to do better that way. And you're going to bring something more to the next project you do. And I think it's just so fun getting to the next thing too. It's just like, okay, I'm better now than I was for the last one. Let's see what I can do.
That's funny. Stat says, well, I can just get a standing desk and I can do my stand-up as well. Yeah. Nice. Now I went from stand-up to improv because doing improv, even though I was with a group of people and we would rehearse once or so a week, when we showed up on weekends to do the weekend shows, there's really no preparation because it's all improv.
Right.
You know, where stand-up comedy had homework. That's the joke between improvisers and stand-up comedians is, well, at least I don't have homework. Because with stand-up, you got to write it. You got to walk around however you practice memorizing stuff. And then you got to hit open mics to try the stuff out and record it and then play it back. This didn't get a laugh. Let me try and punch up that punchline.
Right,
this got a laugh. Reorganize the set. Oh, my God. Everybody's like, oh, that's such an easy job. Just go write some jokes and get on stage.
That's the hardest job.
It is.
Dude, for somebody to do a 45-minute special, that's like a year work. It's a year or more worth of work for one 45-minute special.
It's because it's a craft. You're carving out a rock and shining it to perfection until it's 45 minutes of perfection, but it took a year to do. Like it's amazing. And that's making a comic is a craft. You're taking all those elements, you're shining it down, you're polishing it to perfection. It takes a lot of time, and then when it's there, it just turns into this like story that takes people away for a minute. It's amazing, man.
So Eric asked if there's any footage. Yeah, actually on my YouTube channel, if you go all the way back, because the footage is from 2006, I think.
Wow, that's old.
If you go all the way down the video chain on my YouTube channel, I think there's a stand-up thing there, and then there's also some skits because I did some sketch comedy as well.
You know what? Maybe we'll have to make a playlist so that they can access it through a playlist. I feel like we got a project here.
I feel like I would do that if I wanted people to have easy access.
The funny thing, people just assumed everything's so easy today, and it doesn't matter what fields that you're in. Oh wow, it's so easy. You just did it, so obviously I can do it. You know, like you, I've had a lot of different jobs spanning different fields. Put myself through college by working at quad graphics, downpiling Playboys. Yes, Playboys. I knew you were going to say something.
Dennis got his hands on pristine Playboy magazine right off the printer.
And we got 50 cents a pop because, that's what all the extra books were. High Times were a quarter. They had, all these different magazines. That's what we get all the extras, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you always start out, whatever job you were doing, I always started out at the bottom. When I was in IT, and then when we started up our own company, you're at the bottom. And then I gave up my career to homeschool the kids. So that was a complete change. And then once my kids went off, then I was like, oh, time to get back in the workforce. Decided to sell electric cars and hybrids. Never did it before. You jump in both feet and not knowing stuff. In order to it took 2 years to become the best one in the area. But you have to put in the time and the effort. Yep. You always start at the bottom and work your way up. The kids today think, oh, I just graduated college. I'm going to go in and do everything that you just worked the last 5 years for, and I'll do it in one day.
Right. Welcome to the real world. You're about to get your ass kicked.
Exactly. And talk down it and bitch slap by your boss.
I mean, if you
Can't
trust
do
me,
that.
I'm glad. Back in the time when I was getting my ass handed to me by life, like I was feeling terrible. But now when I look back, I'm really glad. I'm really, really glad. Like it got me to where I'm at. It made me the creator I am, and it made me realize I need to do comics. That's just where I'm happy, you know.
And
Andy,
let's talk about that.
Okay.
Terror in the Trenches. One, if you want to share your screen, I always, if you can, because then you can have control over the scrolling and stuff.
Oh, sure, man. Yeah, I'll get that rolling.
Yeah. And yeah, we can talk about, because I recognize I'm so bad with character names. That character is that's a Golden Age character, right?
Sure is.
What's his name? Black Terror.
Black Terror.
It's Black Terror. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
See, it's Black Terror must don his dark mantle once again when vengeful super Nazis bomb his hood.
But
so what I like about that is, Hyper Kaiju found the link to my stand-up. There you go.
Yeah, I was wondering who was going to be the first
I'm
one.
I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna.
It's old, and I was doing a specific character. So anyhow, okay, so I have ADHD and I have OCD, legitimately diagnosed, and that routine is kind of based on those aspects to a next level. So anyhow,
nice. The Earth is
Terror in the
bipolar.
Trenches.
Okay.
Dennis pulled it up, so he was able to read that. So I assume, obviously, Black Terror is public domain, right?
Indeed. Made back in the days of World War II, he was kind of a Dark Avenger hero people went to when they wanted to just see someone machine gun down Nazis and throw airplanes at them and just kind of do the things a lot of other superheroes didn't do. He was a little more violent.
Yeah.
A little more on the dark side. Yeah. So he was popular in his day, from what I've been told from like the fans of the old school Terror. You know?
Well, I actually, so I know Dynamite does their Project Superpowers, and that's one of the characters they use. And this goes back probably a decade as well. I did a free comic book day comic forum, and the Black Terror was in it.
Oh,
so
cool.
I always liked the costume design and stuff. So I thought this was pretty cool that you were doing that. When you decided, or whenever you were thinking of your next project, how did you figure this out? How did you come across doing this?
Man. Oh, this was so crazy. Monster MD was on Indiegogo, doing pretty well. And I just, I was just wanting to create. It wasn't a planned thing where I ever even thought I would do a campaign for this. It was more of a like, man, I'm up late at night, like having a good time, trying to create something awesome. But I was going through a breakup at the time too. So I remember when I'm going through stuff, like it's therapy for me to create this stuff. So I'm up late at night writing this book out of kind of like for the fun of it, but there's a little spite because I looked into where Black Terror is at these days on the shelves, and I read some of the stories, and I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of felt like they were kind of giving him the shaft. I felt like there was so much potential coolness that they weren't unlocking, and they weren't really treating him that well. So I got kind of mad about that, and I was like, man, this character could be made so cool. So in a weird way, you're making it out of spite. In another way, I'm just up late at night having fun jamming out this script. Before I know it, it's 206 pages of this.
Holy crap.
Dark Avenger epic that I just loved writing. And I became a better writer from this script for sure. Like I learned a lot more about comics. I fell in love with comics again writing this. I found new love and appreciation for the splash page, I think, while I was writing this. And so it was a great experience making this for me. But I didn't know what I was going to do with it other than put it in a folder and I said to myself, he's a Golden Age character. Those are not safe to invest in or try to crowdfund. They don't make much money, maybe if I have more of a name in the future after I'm doing some Monster MD books, I could do this, So it was one of those like down the line things. But I got to tell you, it just kept sticking in my mind. All the designs I had done. I did these character designs you can see here. Or I mean, these are Monica's art, but I designed them and then had Monica draw them. And then I realized we kind of should do this book. This is really cool. This is looking really badass. Should I zoom in a little? Does that help? Does that zoom in on you guys?
Yeah, it zooms in. Yeah.
Right. So like I wanted to, it was one of those things where the book kind of kept calling me and demanding to be made. And I realized if I didn't make this, I was going to regret it. Like this is such a cool, special, awesome story. And showing the industry what I can do with a character that they all know is kind of fun to me. It's I'm never going to get the right Wolverine. Like I'm never going to get the right Punisher or whatever, but I can write Black Terror and show you guys what's up. So
does Black Terror, because I honestly I don't know much about him. Does he have is he Batman Moon Knight type where he has no powers?
Oh, he has powers in the way of he's a doctor. He's actually a pharmacist by trade, and he created a formic ether back when he was in his original incarnation that he inhaled, and it gave him super durability and super strength.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he'll be, he's picking up airplanes and throwing them. He's, he does Superman-ish things without the flight pretty much throughout his
cool
comics. So then but in my Terror, I wanted to kind of bring him more into the realm of horror and make it more interesting. So I took his formic ether gas thing and I made it something called Terror Gas, which gives him the strength and the durability. But it also makes it when he breathes out like a fear toxin, like the Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see him as what you fear most.
That's cool.
He tears you up, He can use it to interrogate, things like that. So he lives up more to the name Black Terror now. And what else can I say? Like it's not called formic ethers. I feel like it's cooler that it's like terror gas, and he wears the vials on his belt and he pulls them off and pops them like battle poppers and gets all high and evil. And that's kind of the point though. Like he's got a creep factor to him. I want him to be, I've always liked the darker heroes that give the other good guys like a chill up their spine a little bit.
Yeah.
Now
the art, Monica, the art is fantastic. How did you
oh, man.
Come across her, or what was the deal?
With Monica, I saw her work right after I was, my first Monster MD had failed. And I was like, wow, this artist captures horror, captures comedy, captures something that's kind of Bruce Timmish, kind of anime, kind of manga, in such a beautiful package. I mean, it's just all there. And I said to myself, if I could work with this artist, I could make hits pretty much. And Monica did a pinup for me of Dr. Wyatt Black from Monster MD sleeping in a chair after a hard night of monster mending, and the invisible girl, or his invisible friend Heidi, is about to dump a bucket of monster guts on his head. And when we finished that piece, I was like, we're gonna make hits for sure. Like this is too cool, And then we made Monster MD. So I told Monica about this, my idea for making a Black Terror and just doing it so cool that no one could deny it, like making it more than just your typical like Golden Age fanfare. It's something else. It's new kind of storytelling with like kind of an old school sensibility, I guess, or maybe a hat tip to the classics even. But
now does she do Monica color and all?
Colors actually are by Tiago Barça, a colorist that I wanted to work with for so long and never knew if I would. And somehow I got him on Terror. I'm so lucky, man. He colored a book called Grom, which stands for Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, which was really fun. And it's a beautiful book itself. That is something worth checking out. So, and I was like, man, I would love to work with that colorist. So the combination just speaks for itself. Monica and Tiago's work it's Bruce Timm on steroids is what we've been calling.
It is. It's really nice. It has a really nice feel to it and stuff. And the character sheets are just super cool. I love that stuff.
I kind of knew, this would be kind of a different type of book, because it's not an original character. I had to kind of sell it on a cool cast.
So that's just it. I assume so this brings up a good question. Besides Black Terror, who else in the cast is from his original stories, or is it all made up except for him?
Well, the other Golden Ager I used is Lady Satan right here to the right in the red cloak.
Okay, I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah.
I'm not totally up on all the Golden Age stuff.
Right. Yeah, she was a classic Golden Ager whose husband was murdered by Nazis, and so she went on the warpath. No powers, just guns and knives. Just killing them, getting infiltration and killing them. And then a new incarnation of Lady Satan happened a few years after that one, where she's a mystic and she has all the powers. So they've played around with her in different comic book ways over the years. I took the mysticism and the guns and I combined them, and she's a gun witch who's very acrobatic and has all these guns flying around her, and she's blazing, blowing everybody away. So it's something I've always wanted to do, and the character just was perfect for it. So, bam, she's now she's a agent of vengeance, like Black Terror in her own way, killing Nazis and loving it.
Dude, that's cool. So what's your writing process like? I assume you do full script for her, or
yeah, I'm a big like structure guy. Get it all set up. I do a lot of I like to do like freeform notes first when I'm starting out. Like just let it be loose and just write a bunch of cool scene ideas for things you could do. But then as it develops, you start coming up with rules for your universe, things that work, things that don't work. And before I know it, I'm writing a 3-act structure like I am a movie script. But I still don't think of it as a movie. Like it is a sweet ass comic book in the end. And then from that 3-act structure, I go right into full scripts.
Nice.
That's I also cool. I'm big on I do my character. Oh yeah, and I'm big on doing my own character designs. I do image or folders full of like all the inspirational images, so the whole team can capture the atmosphere, the environment we want to get. So yeah, there's a lot to my process actually, but I think it's cool because in the end, it's like it's something I probably picked up from film school, right? You end up making like a production package, to hand to someone and just be like, let's make a comic.
There you go. Well, thank you, Randy. That's much appreciated.
It does look cool. I think Hyper said it looks dope. And it does. I mean, this looks really, you're right. It is Bruce Timmish and it captures everything. I'm glad everybody got a chance to see this. This looks awesome.
Thanks, man. I'm really proud of it. Our team is killing it. This is the first prop item I've ever done, the first replica of one of the gas vials off his belt.
How big is that?
That is a 6-incher vial.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted it to be as close to like 1-to-1 scale as possible. When you hold it in your hand, it's pretty, feels like a pretty solid vial. He pops the tops on that, inhales the gas, gets his power back if he starts to run out, it can heal him too if he takes a lot of damage. And it's completely toxic. Like it will poison. I mean, that's part of the whole Skull and Crossbones. I took it when the way he's been done over the years, he's kind of been piratey super guy, with the boots and kind of a holographic pirate skull for a chest emblem. I took him more into like toxic poison nightmare horror. So if other people inhale this gas, they're going to go down, but certain people can inhale it and maybe get some power. So it's a very mysterious, creepy gas. And I realized, he's kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde too.
Right.
He invents his own thing and then it turns him into this kind of badass, but he's also, if he inhales too much or gets too freaked out, he blacks out and it's like a berserker rage thing where like friend and foe alike will get cut up by him. So he has to watch himself, he has that thing hovering over him, that gas that can, is kind of eating away at his brain a little bit. Let's just be honest.
That's cool. Hyper likes the jab. Don't let Andy fool you. He's used to more than 6 inches. Let me tell you something, Hyper. I think that gadget he has on the campaign looks really cool, but the shape and the size scares me because that's unwanted competition that I don't need in this house. So
batteries not included.
If I ever got that, I would have to definitely not show my wife and leave it in my office. So
that's right.
I don't need that pressure.
Part of the private collection, if you will.
That's right.
Private Pots collection. Anyway, so this is the Glow in the Dark t-shirt. I've always wanted to make a Skull and Crossbones Glow in the Dark t-shirt since I was a kid. Now I finally have an excuse.
Dude, nice.
I felt like with the Skull and Crossbones, this Terror kind of markets himself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I just had to make sure I designed the right one for him. I took out the jaw you usually see on the other designs of Terror. It just kind of made it more Halloween creepy.
That's freaking cool.
Good old Preston Acevedo,
Yeah,
killing it
man.
with acrylic on comic board, bonded to Masonite. Just beautiful piece. I hope someone picks this one up. You don't want to miss
What
out.
size is that?
It should be 11 by 17.
Holy crap!
He said it's comic board or comic paper.
Yeah, that is freaking cool.
Someone got the sketch.
Nice.
Cool. And we tip our hat to the creators here, Richard E. Hughes and Don Gabrielson. And we've already unlocked some stretch goals. We got the stickers coming to everybody. There's a 3-inch sticker, pretty sweet. And Terror in the Trenches patch unlocked at 50K. So
Beautiful.
Everybody's getting one of those too. Yeah. One of the things I loved about this, I didn't plan this, but in 1975 or so, people, even the cops, they were handing out these pamphlets to people in New York that said, "Welcome to Fear City," because the crime was so crazy. And they were trying to help people educate themselves on how to, stay safe.
Right.
And like this whole book takes place in 1975, this story of Terror in the Trenches.
Oh, cool.
So it's 30 years after World War II. He's just a humble pharmacist / like caretaker to his little neighborhood in New York. But super Nazis from his past come back. They turn the place into a crater. It is a war zone of just ash and carnage and concrete. And so he dons the mantle again, man, and comes back out. But it literally is like welcome. Like he thinks it in the book, like welcome to Fear City. But I just thought that was so cool. I'm like, hell yeah, I get to tie this into like real history in a way, that totally ties in with the book and all the themes of fear that I want to cover, because you'll see when he uses his fear power on people in the story, it is a different reaction from everybody, and they're all afraid of totally different things. Sometimes it can benefit him. Sometimes they'll go crazy and start blasting at him and try to, fight or flight. Sometimes it helps them interrogate. Sometimes it makes them lose their minds and they can't say a word. It's a roll of the dice type of power, you can use it to, and that's kind of one of the themes. Like you can use fear to control people, but it's also something that like motivates us to like get our work done and get our bills, make us take care of ourselves too. So it explores fear in a cool way, the story. So pretty proud of that too.
Dude, that's really cool. What do you think you'll do after this one? Any idea?
Well, volume 2, I mean, the whole story was 206 pages.
Oh yeah,
and I split it into 3. So after this, we've got volume 2 ready to rock, man. And
so you're going to go? You're not going to go back to Monster MD? Is what I meant. You're going to continue with that?
I think I want to finish all 3 volumes of this.
That's cool.
And then move on, and then churn out like a really awesome Monster MD 2 for everybody. That would be fun.
That'd be cool if on the 3rd volume, and this was something I was thinking of doing, but who cares? It'd be cool for everybody to do it. Do as a stretch goal, a slipcase to put them all in.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. Like,
dude, for the 3rd volume.
Yeah. That's so cool. And you make it a great design and it just fits in perfect.
Honestly,
I would love something like that.
You could go nice and graphic with the slipcase where literally the front of it's all black and on the front is just the skull and stuff that you have on the shirt. Yeah. And it's glow in the dark, baby.
You think so? I could do that. I would do that.
You're looking for your terror in the trenches slipcase, and all you see is that skull glowing, and that's my slipcase.
That's my slipcase being my nightlight as I go to the bathroom tonight. Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think
that would be awesome.
Well, not to mention everybody's got a black light in their room, so you flip that on there, it looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So if you could possibly do this would be cool for a slipcase, right? So on the end that you see, if it's in a bookshelf, obviously you do like the little skull at the top and your design and then the title. But then you pull it out on the front of the slipcase, it's the skull on black, so it's just white on black.
Classic.
But I don't know what type of ink they use for this, but basically the only time you'd see it is with a black light. If somebody did shine a black light on it, you'd see blood splatter.
Oh, CSI, crime investigation.
On the front and back of the slipcase.
Right.
As well. But you only see it with a black light, and then the skull glows in the dark with the lights off.
That's badass.
Okay, see, I think simplistic stuff, especially because you have that logo and stuff, is just so much cooler than like all these graphics on it.
Yeah, me too. I say use it to your advantage, right? It's just I like that. I like that.
All right, Stat Zero. Have a good day. See you later.
Thanks for stopping in.
Now I remember walking around New York in the late '80s before it really got cleaned up. And yeah, man, you walk down Times Square and it was all just adult stuff and guys handing out the flyers. Come on up and whatnot. So
yeah, man, it was something else. It's a whole nother world, and the crime was through the roof, and the city was like living in fear. But it was also partying. It was partying hard. It was like Studio 54 and stuff. But it was. I like the whole classic Dark Avenger hero coming back into the saddle. I like the whole, trying to be a good healer when really like he's got this dark past of being a total butcher. I like all the things that like all this potential in Black Terror was just right there. And nobody who was writing him was tapping into it. It seemed like nobody really knew what to do with him. And I was just like, man, he deserves better. Let's do this. Let's show him what's up. And people who are fans told me they still like what I've done so far, which is really reassuring because they like the World War II aspect still being there, like that he's still born in the trenches of World War II. That's what he should be. He's a trench warrior, He's a nightmare walking at you that bullets bounce off of. And and then when he gets close, you see him as what you fear most right before he takes you out. It's a freaky guy. The idea of using knives with super strength too. I mean, that's freaky to me. Like you're just a blender.
Just goes right through you.
Yep. So this is a throwdown brawl of a book. It's a cool story. The second book is just a brutal brawl with some awesome twists. And I can't wait to get like right on that. I just feel like because we've got good momentum, it would be good to just try to do all three campaigns and try to make it like a timely, fast, production. Be cool.
That's cool.
Maybe do a hardback later, collect them. But I love the slipcase idea for sure.
I love the whole slipcase thing. I've got a few books that are slipcased, and with First Man, I was thinking for the third one when I do it, maybe doing a slipcase, checking into that, just because I think it'd be kind of cool. But
well. I don't know. Did you guys want to go over tiers or anything else?
Yes, you want to. Go ahead, man.
Sure.
Break it down.
But dang, we have the Total Terror, which people seem to have really liked. This is everything, man. This is your shirt, your comic book. You get so we've got this thing called the Terrafiles. And I love this because it's a black envelope that looks like, you've got some sort of secret document that you could totally trick your wife or girlfriend with, and then you pull out these character designs that are totally badass, and it's like not secret evil CIA files at all, but you get to see the character designs, appreciate them, frame them if you want, but on the other side you get these cool like creepy dossiers on files on the characters that are top secret that talk about their powers, maybe their past. So it's kind of a cool look into the characters of this book. Who I pretty much invented all the rest of the villains myself to kind of be the cast of rogues that Black Terror and Lady Satan have to go against. You also get the double-sided poster and the digital edition. So it's the whole thing.
That's cool.
Digital edition, $20. For a lot of people said they appreciated this because they couldn't do all the shipping, which totally understand. When it comes to the overseas stuff.
Oh yeah.
The basic book, so far so good, $25. The
nice.
T-shirt, campaign only T-shirt. That's the way I want to roll with some of these shirts.
Sure.
You get your comic and poster here. It's a double-sided. You get a Kelsey Shannon, Lady Satan poster, which is pretty awesome. And then on the other side is Monica and Tiago killing it with Lady Satan as well. So
nice
for the Lady Satan fan. Then, of course, it's the side comic and then the print set, aka the Terrafiles, the top set. Terrafiles. So, and then the Terra Gas Vial replica here is $45. We've sold 40. We're only making 100, so it's a pretty cool rare.
Man, that's awesome that you've sold that many.
I know, man.
That is freaking cool.
I've never done this before, and I'm stoked people are getting into it. One thing I will say about this vial, when you read this first book, you're going to look at the vial differently because you're going to see how much it ties into the plot.
Can you, on the one you're selling, can you actually unscrew the top or no?
We're not unscrewing the top on it.
Okay. I was
It's
just
gonna be,
curious. It looks really cool.
lockdown. Yeah, it will have like it has a little 200 milliliters of like, so you can get a measurement of how much tear gas it holds and like little details like that.
Oh, nice.
It says toxic on the top. It has a warning thing too. So yeah, I wanted it to be as accurate as I can make it. I'm excited as hell. They're all hand painted, and we are talking about doing a special hidden glow in the dark paint for the skull and crossbones, and then the two little gray rubber stopper parts on the vial, so that when you turn off your lights, you'll have a little glow going.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
2 signed comics, 10 books for the stores and or military, or people want to get a nice batch of them for everybody.
Oh, cool.
And then of course the Preston Acevedo painting is still available for $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of this campaign. We've done pretty well. We're less than 2 weeks until we're done with our last month. So 11 days.
Like you got 11 days left?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Nice.
refresh it?
I did. He's up to 909 backers.
2 more backers. Thank you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, Randy backed it.
Appreciate it.
Couldn't wait. Had to do it.
Oh man, that means a lot. Thank you. This is I promise you guys, you're gonna have a book that you're gonna be proud to have on your shelf. And yes, you're gonna get a cool slipcase.
There you go.
You want to stick around for all 3, man.
That's cool, man. When's it? I can't see. When's it shipping?
I don't have a hard date on that yet. We're almost done with inks, and we're over 50% done with colors. So I've been telling people let's talk in 3 or 4 months and see
cool.
if it's shipping by then. Hopefully, I think because man, it's 70 pages. We're almost.
Oh yeah.
I just got a new batch of colors in for my colors before I jumped on with you now. So I'm gonna have to update. I have some updates to do. Yeah,
that's cool. Marcus wants to know if you're going in demand.
I would like to go in demand, but it's not going to be in demand for a really long time like Monster MD was. It's going to be. I want to get this out and in hands and get to the next book type thing. That's what I'm trying to do. Monster MD was a great experience. It was a learning experience. That book had over 200 pages of content by the time, or the book plus the sketchbook plus all the crossover I added and all that stuff. It was over 200 pages of content, kids. I was like, damn, I can't do that. So this is more in the 70 page realm, 78 pages. And I want to see if we can turn it out faster. I want to see if we can. Let me share something really quick here.
Yeah, go ahead.
These pages just came on before I came on your show. If anyone wants to see some cool color work.
Let's see. AJ says, is it true that you're shipping Monster MD when the campaign ends if we add it at checkout?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in other words, they won't have to wait until Terror in the Trenches. You're going to.
It might have to. People told me, what did they say? They said you need to be careful and ship Monster MD only after the whole campaign is fully done, right? Because then, but yes, I'm going to be shipping Monster MDs out before Terror in the Trenches. You're going to get that separately in its own.
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's what he meant. Was if
yes.
Oh, that's cool.
True.
That's cool because some people would just be like, once I start shipping, you'll get them both. So that's cool.
Yeah. I want to get them to people a little faster to thank them for that.
Yeah, awesome
for sure. I love this page. It's so creepy. It's so. I gave them images from Pompeii where everybody is encased in the ashes and the molten,
that's cool.
mummified moltenness and. So it's his whole neighborhood, as you can see. I mean, it's a hell zone. It's a war zone. And he's lifting up this bus to say hello to these the Black Reich are the bad guys in this.
Yeah.
This is their standard foot soldier.
That's nice.
Shebang. Here comes Terror. So yeah, this is these are some new pages that just came in. So yeah, man, progress is going pretty well. We're gonna get it done. This is I'm so stoked for this book, you guys. I can't wait. Yeah, maybe that's part of the reason I'm doing all 3 2 in a row. It's like, I want to get this done, you know?
Yeah, man, you're on fire for it. So that's cool, dude.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, we're gonna wrap it up. Stay on though after we sign off. Thanks for joining us, first and foremost.
Of course.
Glad you got a couple backers out of it. And
I appreciate you guys, man. It's been great talking with you and doing this show. Thank you.
Nah, man, you're always welcome and stuff. You know, like I said, we're trying to book a guest every week, so I've got a couple more lined up. So I think the word's getting out because people are actually contacting me and stuff. So I'm glad you mentioned it back in the green room because I was like, oh shit, that would be awesome. So
thanks for having me, man. Good
yeah, dude, anytime.
And Hyper's got the link.
And there's the link right there. The link is also in the description below, so you can back it. This looks like a really awesome book. It's Bruce Timm on steroids for sure. AJ says, thanks. Can't wait. There you go. And of course, guys, link is in the description below for First Man, my book. Go check that out. 64-page graphic novel. All the artwork on my end's done, being colored right now. And all the supplemental stuff is at the printer right now in regards to trading card, mini print, and all that fun stuff. And we will be back, I guess, next week. Yeah, we will be back next week. Maybe before. Oh, yeah, Moon Knight came out. So maybe Friday, maybe sometime before next Wednesday, we'll pop on to talk about Moon Knight. We'll see.
You guys excited for Moon Knight or?
I like Moon Knight as a character. I was saying before you came on 2 things. So I have the collections of the original Moon Knight, and I also have the original Moon Knight #1. We were just at a show over the weekend, so I picked up Mark Spector Moon Knight 1 by my buddy Chuck Dixon, and the Fist of Khonshu #1.
Awesome.
But design-wise, since I'm always more looking at the art and stuff, I always love Moon Knight's design. I just thought it was great. Awesome. Story-wise, I do enjoy it. I'm very curious to see what they do. So,
yeah, I'm going to be curious to the take that they're going to put on it. I always want to be optimistic, and I think what they've shown, I think it looks interesting. I think it's all going to be it's the writing. I mean, the writing is just like anything, like Picard right now. It's either going to make or break it. And I mean, because the visuals are potentially there, but is the writing going to be more crap, or are they actually going to let them have free reign and do what needs to be done?
That's the rule, man. You can't make a good movie out of a bad script, but you can't make a bad movie out of a good script.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need this. I really hope, people can return to the core of just good, solid storytelling. There's nothing wrong with simple, solid, non-political storytelling. It transcends all cultures and all politics. It hits us all here, and that's what makes it good. So
it does. I just did a full review on Count Crowley, which was it's the new Hunter spoof off the 90s. And the art was really good and stuff like that. And actually the story wasn't bad. But the writer had to stick politics in there in multiple occasions, and they just couldn't let it go. And I'm like, it instantly subtracts, definitely. So my grade wound up falling dramatically because of it, because I'm actually kind of tired of the shit in the books.
You and me both, man. I have this weird malaise of fed up. I'm really fed up, but I have this attitude about it of just laughing at it and making fun of it a lot now, just laughing it off more, because I'm just you're a bad passing phase. You know what I mean? We're gonna look back at this era like bell bottoms, man. When it comes to a lot of the art they're doing, there's still gonna be, but still, any time in art history, you're gonna pick out the cool things, right?
Right.
So I hope we're all, putting your nose to the grinder, guys, and making the coolest things you can. It's time.
That's what we're trying to do.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we will be back. Well, just like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Then you will, of course, know when we're back.
And share this with your friends. Let them join in on our fun every week as well.
That's right. So until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.